to start out with Mr. Romkema. The Tea Party was formed to oppose the practice of new and increasing taxes as the solution to ever-growing entitlement spending and budget overruns. How would you go about balancing the state's budget, helping to develop a reserve while not increasing taxes?
Thank you for that question.
The question talked about balanced budget. When I came to Peter 4 years ago, the budget was not balanced. There was a $25 million structural deficit every single year for about the previous 8 years. The recession was hitting, and that grew to about $100 million. The governor, Dugard, decided we're going to fix this thing once and for all. So 2 years ago, we balanced the budget. We cut everything about 10%. It wasn't so much fun coming back to Spearfish when I was cutting everyone, all the public school teachers in college and so on and so forth, but we cut the budget. We balanced the budget. Last year we had a little extra money, and we were able to backfill some of the items such as the public schools, higher education, and so on. So our budget is balanced. We have a retirement system. It is fully funded. It is one of the few in the United States that is. I was talking to the chairman, Joe England, yesterday. He was a Spearfish resident who told me that the retirement people from California come here to receive advice about how to run a retirement system. So, I do not intend to raise taxes. I haven't raised taxes. Don't intend to. I will qualify that with, this year we had some flooding, and we probably, or may have some fires due to the bug problem here. And I think we need to be prudent, and we may need some money. And we did last year. We took care of a Fort Pier while they were in dire straits. We lent them some money, and we also put some money into the efforts to fight the pine beetles, which is due to a failed policy in 1980, by the way. We'll get into that. But at any rate, under my watch, we have not raised taxes. We have balanced the budget, and I see that continuing. I see things, as far as finances go, as being very, very sound, and I'm very proud of being part of that.
Can everybody hear me all right? Yeah. Or should I use the mic? Okay, I'll hang on to it. Well, Fred's exactly right. You know, I think a lot of us were under the impression that South Dakota went along with the balanced budget. A lot of candidates, when I was starting to pay attention in the 80s and 90s, always said, we have a balanced budget. Well, the fact of the matter is we took money out of savings to balance the budget. We had done that for many years, and I think the $25 million figure is absolutely accurate. What Governor Dugard did is he made $127 million worth of cuts. He took away the structural deficit spending, and I think the question refers to how will we continue to do that without raising taxes? It's efficiencies. I think that initial 10% cut that's continuing to work, we did it 2 years ago, it's ongoing. I think we're finding the efficiencies in government that we need to look for. You know, and the legislative work and the committee work is what continues to look at those. And hats off to the Appropriations Committee because they listened to each one of those agencies.
It took Governor Dugard a long time to convince me that he was going to do what was necessary to cut the budget, because our previous governor, I didn't feel, had done that, and I thought that our Republican legislators had given too much rein, and unfortunately I was part of the problem with that on 2 years. I voted for a balanced budget in 2001 under Governor Jankel. We put $12 million in the reserve. In 2002, we had a $17 million deficit. It was the governor's last year. We made a decision, since we had $130 million in the rainy day fund and put $12 million in the previous year, to go ahead and let that go. And then we figured we'd get a new governor, and we balanced the budget in 2003. And Governor Rounds came in and proposed a 3% increase for education and a 3% increase for employees, and we built a structural deficit with Republican leadership for a number of years. And unfortunately, the first 2 years or the last 2 years I was in the legislature, I ended up voting for those bills. We had a huge fight that first year that the conservatives lost. We're back on track now. we've got a conservative governor, we need conservative legislators in to make sure that we toe the line on them.
Well, I'm not educated on all the numbers, but I do have a concern that I'll be dealing with. And doing a little research and asking a lot of the right questions, these two bills that were passed last year, the legislature, the SB 38 and the SB 43, facilitated Obamacare in this state. And I don't know how many of you know that, but that's what happened. Well, in doing so, that means a lot of this money to balance this budget is coming from the federal government. And I've been told that this might work out fine for the next 3 or 4 years, but then at the end of that next 3 or 4 years, the federal government might not have any money to shore us up here in South Dakota. So that's where I'm going to be taking a look at that. I think it's a big concern. So that's what I have to say about that matter. Thank you.
When I first went on the bench in 1975 and came to Lawrence County, the entire government of this county was contained in one building, including the sheriff's office. Government has continued to grow and grow and grow, and it's become a major employer in just about every community in our state and nation. Maybe it's time to stop some of that. But you can balance the budget. You can increase governmental revenue by business expansion, by encouraging pro-growth. I am for pro-growth, and we will get it done.